The Lotus 49, one of the most successful Formula One cars ever to take part in the Formula One World Championship. Now, what made this car so special was the genius of its designer, Colin Chapman and Maurice Philippe. This car was the first car ever to feature the engine and gearbox as full stress-bearing components of the chassis. And what an engine it was, that 3-litre Ford Cosworth DFV V8. But what happens if you take out that legendary V8 from the 49, chop off a couple of cylinders, and add a massive turbocharger to it? Well, with the beauty of the AC Car Tuner app, I can go ahead and find out. Yes, this Lotus 49 you see here has been fitted with the engine and gearbox from the legendary Lotus 98T. Now, I have made no other changes to the chassis or anything to do with this car, and we are still running on the original 325mm bias ply 60's tyres. Now, for context, the 98T that this engine came from has 370mm slick tyres on the rear. Now, I've just been out and set a representative lap time in the standard Lotus 49 of a mid 228. I think it was a 228.51 something or other. And we're going to see how close we can get to that lap time in the 49T. There we go. We've got the name for it now. Now, how close we're going to get to that, I don't know. To be completely honest, we've got triple the horsepower, but we've still got the same tyres and suspension. Put your guesses in the comments below. Before you skip ahead, how much quicker or how much slower do you think we're going to be than the standard 49? Okay, so that is the sound of a 1.5 litre turbocharged V6 in a Lotus 49. Okay, so let's peel out the pits here. Now, over here, I have a boost control button. We're currently running on 50% boost, so probably about 700-800 horsepower, so about double what the standard car will do. And well, it's not too undrivable to start with. No, not too much different from the standard car, I say that. Now we're starting to get that turbo boost coming in. Whoa, 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 grass, 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 grass. Whoa. Big kick post here, brake for Lecom, somehow get it slowed down. Okay, well, I take back my statement very quickly. This is not a standard Lotus 49 to drive. It's fine while you're off the turbo boost, and then the turbo boost kicks in and you just absolutely take off. It's like somebody has jumped. Whew. You just take off with the power. It's... whoa. Okay. I think what we'll do is I'll try and get around this outlap. And we'll go and set a initial lap time on the 50% boost. And then we'll bump it up by a bit and give us the full 1200 horsepower that this engine has to offer. Whew. Okay, so judging by those outlaps, this is going to be quite an intense lap of Spa. Right, let's just try and get the braking right for turn 1 down into La Source, not Lecom. A little bit deep in the apex, but that's fine because we can now try and unleash. Well, we've got about 750 horsepower on this half boost, and to be honest, I've managed to get some of that power down fairly okay, up through Eau Rouge, down to 3rd gear. Through the high-speed stuff, we're kind of not really going to go much quicker than in the standard car. Now, 4th gear, don't touch the grass. Whoa. Bit of wheel spin in 4th gear there at 200 and something kph, and we're going to be just shy. I think there was 300 kilometers an hour before we have to brake nice and early down into Lecom. Just feed it through here. Try and keep it off the turbo boost through these switchback corners. I think it's much safer that way. And then plant the throttle out of it. Immediately back on the 60's brakes, which do stop the car, actually. To be fair, in this car, they're not horrendously bad. First gear through is probably a bad idea. We're going to take second, short shift. through No Name. Oh, I missed the corner by a country mile. Why not? Try and not use too much apex curb on the exits. Down into Pouon, and you just... Oh, yeah, I can't imagine what this must feel like to accelerate in a car like this. Just bearing in mind, right? This thing weighs, I think it's somewhere in the region of 450 kilos. So on the 100% boost, which we're going to try next lap, we're going to have a pretty much 3-to-1 power to weight. Well, we're going to have 20, basically near as makes no difference, 2,400 horsepower per ton, if my maths is correct. Right, try and get out of Stavlo 2 this time. Wheels spinning up in 4th gear. You're just seeing the amount of steering input I'm having to put in the car and the lack of throttle input. And again, just to remind you, this is half boost. I am slightly concerned for when we go to full boost. I am also, I think, gonna have to increase the amount of fuel in her car because the fuel lights just come on and we've done 2 laps. Right, so mids 228 in the standard car. In half boost, we have already smashed that time by 2.5 seconds. Whew. That was, I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't undrivable. If you were careful on the throttle, you could keep it on the road. Right, so I'm going to have to go back, refuel the car, whack the turbo up to 100%, and see if we can break out the 220s. Can we gain 6 seconds with another, well, 700 horsepower? Time to find out, I guess. Okay, so turbo 100%. We are now having 1,200 horsepower under this here, my right foot. Should we have a look and see what that looks like in a 60s Formula 1 car? Right. Okay, that's a bit more intense. Jesus. Stop. Please stop. Ugh, just about get it towards the apex. Right now we can open the taps up. Well, we can't really open the taps up, to be honest, just seeing just how careful I'm having to be on the throttle here. That's 280 k's before the bottom of Eau Rouge. That was almost our top speed at the top of the Kemmel. Nice actual line through Eau Rouge there. Come on, 4th gear, try and get some traction. That corner has never been a lift in the history of motor racing. There's 5th gear. 330 k's almost there. Oh, God. Are we going to stop? Are we going to stop? Just about. That was 300. That was over 200 miles an hour there. Up the Kemmel straight. That is quicker than a modern F1 car would get up there. Whoa. Oh, that was way too early on the shift out to first. Hold it. Oh, that would have destroyed the engine. Luckily, damage is off because, well, this engine destroys itself in half a lap in real life. They would be 200 horsepower down by the end of a qualifying lap in this car in real life. Woo! Found 2nd gear there, down into Pouon. Just trying to keep it off the boost. There's the power, it's coming in. 3rd gear, big drift, hold it. Slight dab onto the inside grass. You just hear the revs just raise constantly. That's not me getting into the power band. That's just the rear wheels spinning up on these old 60s not slick tyres. Bit of understeer through there. Just about keeping it on the road. This is quite intense. We've cranked the force feed back up a bit as well. Of course, these cars back in the day would have no power steering. Big old power slide out there. Whoa! Okay. I'd like to say I wasn't expecting that, but I was very much expecting that. Jesus. Right, okay. Stavlo 2 is very, very, very scary. Very scary. Okay, let's try and actually string a lap together now. Had a couple of big moments just trying to tame this absolute beast. Right, I need to brake super early for La Source. Still don't make the corner, even though we broke well before the 150 mark, but it doesn't matter because If you mess up any sort of entry, you just tap that throttle button, because that's what it is. It is a button, it's not a pedal. You are just connected to a nuclear power plant. It's a missile, it's a jet engine that just propels you out of the corners. 2,400 horsepower per ton. Come on, car. 5th gear, right. Got to remember, while we can do 340 Ks, there is a corner to stop for. Oh, I could probably brake a little bit later than that, but to be honest, you just gain speed so quickly in this thing that you wait. Oh, okay, I'll brake 10 meters later. Yeah, in those 10 meters, you've gained about 50 kilometers an hour. Up through the gears we go. You're just there for 4th gear. 230 kilometers an hour down to 3rd. 200 Ks at the apex there for Staff Blanchimont. Come on. Oh. Please stop for the bus stop. Ugh. That's actually not a bad line through there at all. Well, we're going to absolutely blitz that 226 that we set, or are we actually, to be honest? I think we matched it. With 700 more horsepower, we matched the time. Or whatever the extra power increase would be between going from 50% to 100% turbo boost. So there's time to find, right, okay, I think we've got enough fuel for another lap. The warning light hasn't come on yet. Get a good entry into Radion. Come on, get it across there. Try not to touch that curb on the exit. 4th gear. Up through the power we go. There we go, there's 5th gear. Woo, woo, woo. He's just dancing all over the place. Woo. That was far too early on the brakes there into Les Combes, but we're 7/10ths up already through that first sector alone. We had a much better run through La Source in the first sector. Gonna try and take 3rd gear here. Down to 1st for Malmedy. Oh, I'm not being brave at all on the brakes around here. I'm not surprised. Ah, 2nd gear. Oh, just off the turbo boost, which I don't mind, but it's not going to give us much speed. Through now, up through the gears once again, up to 4th. You just see that there's just tyre tracks. Who needs to look at telemetry? I can see where I'm on the throttle because there's just 2 massive black lines left on the tarmac everywhere that I've got on the throttle. Like there, look, massive ones. You just barely look at the throttle, and despite the fact that you're still spinning the wheels up, you're gaining so much speed and so much acceleration, it just doesn't feel like it's ever going to stop accelerating. You're just in a constant state of 4-wheel drift. Come on, feed that power and feed that power. And it's so bumpy on the exit there, that's really not helping. Come on, gentle through here, gentle through here. Big power slide through Blanchimont. Woo. Come on, come on. Car, stop. Stop, car, stop. Ugh. Good apex there at the bus stop. Are we going to be quicker or are we going to be about the same? Once again, another 2:26.1. Times are consistent, but I just can't seem to get any more time out of it. Okay. Ooh. I'll have a breather. I think we're about to run out of fuel as well. I'm surprised the fuel light's not on. And then we'll go for one more attempt to try and beat that time. Right, okay. Calm and collected. Calm and collected. Come on. Too much. Sake. Damn it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, 225. There we go. Oh. Jesus. Okay, so we managed to find about a second-ish, give or take, despite having all of that extra power. The car's just undrivable. It's just completely undrivable. Not unexpected, to be honest. Completely not unexpected. But 225 flat. So even compared to the standard 49, with the engine it was designed around, we only managed to find, what was that? About 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds. Well, I am now incredibly sweaty after that. That was incredibly hard work trying to wrestle that car around, but really, really, really good fun. And I think we can end this video off there with a Sim Racer's top tip. If you have a 1967 Lotus 49 and you also have a 1986 Lotus 98T, don't swap the engines over. Doesn't end well. And on that one, I think I'm going to end the video off there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this as much as I have enjoyed making it. If you have, then please do hit that like button, subscribe if you want to as well. As always, check out Abruzzi down in the link in the description below for all your sim racing needs. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.